Let's start with something most men don't fully realize. Even in today's world, where independence and personal boundaries are celebrated, many women still want to be approached, but only by someone they find genuinely attractive. We might not say it out loud, yet we communicate it clearly through small, deliberate cues in our body language. This is something every man should understand. When you miss those signals, she doesn't assume you're shy or cautious. She assumes you're not interested, or worse, that you lack confidence. You've probably heard people say, just leave women alone, or if she wants to talk, she'll tell you. But here's the truth. Women rarely say it outright. Instead, we signal it. We drop little hints. And yes, sometimes we even get frustrated when you don't notice. Think about it. A woman could be across the room, sending you every green light she can give without saying a word. But if you never approach, she interprets that silence as rejection. From her perspective, she took a chance, and you didn't respond. The thing is, these cues aren't complicated or hidden. You don't need to study psychology to recognize them. They're actually easy to spot once you know what to look for. The problem is that most men are too nervous, too distracted, or simply unaware to notice what's happening right in front of them. So in this video, I'll show you 5 clear body language cues that tell you a woman wants you to approach her. I'll break them down simply so you'll never be left guessing again. And once you learn to recognize them, you'll start seeing these signs everywhere. 1. The way she holds eye contact. Let's start with one of the clearest indicators that a woman is open to being approached, her eye contact. Most men underestimate how powerful this is because they expect something obvious, like a wave or a direct hi. But women rarely make the first move that boldly. Instead, we use subtle cues that say, you can come closer. Eye contact is one of those cues. Here's what to pay attention to. A single glance doesn't mean much. Women glance at people all the time without thinking. A held gaze, even for a second or two, means something different. A repeated look, that's where the signal becomes clear. If she looks at you, holds your gaze briefly, looks away, and then does it again later, that's intentional. Women don't keep looking at men they have no interest in. That second or third glance is her quiet way of saying, you've got my attention. The problem? Most men ignore it, second-guess themselves, or assume it's coincidence. And that's where many chances slip away. When a woman gives you repeated eye contact, she's not just looking, she's inviting. It's her way of opening the door without making herself too vulnerable by walking over first. She's signaling comfort, curiosity, and a touch of interest. Picture this. You're in a cafe. She looks up from her book. Your eyes meet. She gives a small smile, then looks down again. A few minutes later, it happens once more. That's not random. That's a cue. She's giving you permission to approach, and hoping you'll be confident enough to take it. If you don't act on those cues, she'll eventually assume you're not interested or that you're too timid, and just like that, the moment is gone. Here's the bottom line. A woman's eyes will often say what her words never will. If she keeps finding ways to reconnect with your gaze, that's her silent invitation for you to step forward. Don't wait for a bigger sign or second-guess yourself. The signal is already there. 2. Her smile and expression. Now, let's talk about something many men misread, her smile. Not every smile is romantic. Sometimes it's just a polite, friendly gesture meant to keep things comfortable. But when a woman wants you to approach her, the smile changes. It carries warmth, softness, and intent, and if you're paying attention, you can feel the difference immediately. Here's what to notice. A polite smile is quick and tight. It fades fast, the kind you'd give a stranger after accidentally bumping into them. A genuine, inviting smile lasts longer. Her face relaxes, her eyes light up, and the energy feels directed at you, not just around you. The difference is subtle, but it's real. Women don't give that kind of soft, repeated smile to men they have no interest in. And if she combines it with other signals, like steady eye contact or slightly turning her body toward you, then that's a clear yes. Still, many men second-guess it. They tell themselves, she's just being nice. And sure, sometimes that's true. But here's what most men don't realize. Women rarely risk giving a warm, repeated, personal smile to a man they don't find attractive. We know exactly what that smile communicates. It gives you permission to approach. So if she smiles in a way that feels personal, intentional, and it happens more than once, don't talk yourself out of it. That's not just friendliness. That's her quiet way of saying, yes, I see you, and I want you to see me too. 3. She finds excuses to be near you. Now, let's talk about proximity, one of the clearest and most overlooked signs of interest. A woman's body language isn't just about her eyes or her smile. It's also about where she chooses to be. When she wants you to approach her, she'll subtly move closer or find small reasons to enter your space.
Think about it.
Women are always aware of where we sit, stand, or walk. We don't just drift into a man's orbit by accident. If she keeps appearing nearby, maybe choosing the seat next to you when plenty of others are open, or lingering around the area where you're standing, that's not random. She's lowering the distance between you two, creating a moment. And no, it's rarely dramatic. It's often subtle, like standing where you can easily make eye contact, slowing her pace when walking past you, positioning herself so you can overhear her conversation or notice her presence. These small moves are intentional.
Why?
Because approaching you directly can feel risky. Women don't like rejection any more than men do. So instead of saying something outright, she makes herself available. She's silently saying, I'm here and I wouldn't mind if you came over. A man who doesn't understand this will see it as coincidence. But a man who does? He sees the quiet strategy behind it. So, here's your takeaway. If she consistently finds reasons to be near you, don't brush it off. That's not luck. That's an invitation. She's hoping you'll recognize it and be confident enough to make the next move. 4. Her body language speaks louder than words. This next point is huge and one most men miss completely. A woman's body often reveals what her words try to hide. She might be talking with a friend, acting distracted, or pretending not to notice you. But her body? It's already giving away the truth. If you hesitate too long, here's what happens. Her interest fades. Women live in emotion and timing. When she sends a signal and you don't respond, she reads that as rejection, even if that's not what you intended. Her mindset quickly shifts from curiosity to self-protection. She'll close off, redirect her attention elsewhere, and that open energy she had toward you?
Gone.
This doesn't mean you need to rush in or act impulsively. It just means confidence has a window. When a woman puts herself in your line of sight, locks eyes a few times, or lingers nearby, she's taking a small emotional risk. She's saying, I'm open. But if you stay frozen, she'll interpret your silence as disinterest or worse, insecurity. Here's what you need to remember. Attraction is about momentum. The energy builds when both people respond to each other. The longer you hesitate, the more that energy cools off. A woman who seemed warm and playful 5 minutes ago can turn distant or indifferent if she feels ignored. It's not pettiness, it's emotional logic. Women value men who recognize a moment and act on it. So, when you notice multiple signs, the eye contact, the smile that lingers, her body facing yours, her staying close, don't second-guess it. Don't let your mind talk you out of what her actions already confirmed. You don't have to deliver a perfect line or sweep her off her feet.
Just take that step forward.
Even a simple, hey, you seem like someone I'd regret not saying hi to, is enough. The goal isn't perfection, it's presence. Because the truth is, most women aren't looking for flawless. They're looking for aware. A man who can sense when she's interested, who meets her halfway without hesitation. And here's the real takeaway. Once you learn to notice these cues, your confidence changes. You stop chasing validation, and instead, you start responding to invitation. You'll begin to recognize that women often open the door, softly, subtly, but intentionally. And when you have the awareness to walk through it with calm confidence, everything about your interactions shifts. So, next time you're out, remember, women do signal interest. The signs aren't hidden. You just need to slow down, stay observant, and trust what you see. Because when you understand her body language, you're not guessing anymore. You're reading the conversation she's already started. Here's where I need to be completely real with you, no sugarcoating. A woman can give you every signal in the book: the lingering eye contact, that warm smile, the way she plays with her hair, or keeps finding excuses to be near you. But if you don't make a move, her interest fades fast. And once it fades, it's almost impossible to reignite. Here's why. Attraction for women isn't just emotional, it's about timing and momentum. When she gives off signals that practically say, "Come talk to me," and you freeze, she doesn't see it as politeness or patience. She reads it as hesitation, uncertainty, lack of confidence. And nothing drains attraction faster than that. Women respect decisive energy. We're drawn to men who can sense a moment and move with purpose. If you stand there analyzing every little thing she does, you're already losing ground. Because here's the truth: women don't wait around. If you miss your window, she'll assume you're not interested or that you're too timid to act. And the very thing that attracted her, your presence, your confidence, your potential, evaporates. This doesn't mean you should charge in carelessly or ignore her boundaries. But if she's giving you open body language, holding eye contact, and lingering nearby, that is her permission. That's her nonverbal green light saying, "I'm open to this." The risk of rejection is much lower than your mind wants you to believe. The hard truth? Men who hesitate watch the opportunity pass to someone else. Another guy, more aware and confident, sees the same signals and steps forward, while you're still debating what to do. And suddenly, she's laughing with him instead of waiting on you. So consider this your wake-up call. If you want to actually connect with women, don't just read the signals, respond to them. Attraction doesn't last forever. It's fleeting. It lives in moments, and those moments don't repeat themselves. Women rarely say, "Come talk to me." Instead, we communicate through quiet cues: a look, a smile, a shift in body language. If you're not tuned in, you'll miss them. And when you miss them, you miss your chance. Here's the controversial truth. Women want men to lead. We'll drop hints, we'll open the door, but we won't drag you through it. If you can't recognize the invitation or you're too afraid to act, another man will, and she'll move on without hesitation. Attraction doesn't wait for you to build courage. It rewards the man who acts in the moment. So next time, watch closely. Notice her eyes, her smile, the way her body faces you, how she lingers in your space. Those aren't coincidences. They're invitations. When you see them, trust yourself and step in. And now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever realized too late that a woman was giving you signs and you missed them? Or maybe you caught on and it actually worked out. Drop your story in the comments. I'll be reading. At the end of the day, the men who win with women aren't the loudest or the luckiest. They're the ones who notice what others overlook and act with quiet confidence. So don't wait. Don't overthink. Don't let attraction slip through your fingers.